We often talk about astrology as isolated energy. We treat archetypes, like an Aries sun or Scorpio moon, as if they exist in a vacuum. But ungrounded energy needs an arena. A zodiac sign alone is abstract until it has a localized place to manifest in the physical world. That place is what astrologers call a house. The chart is divided into 12 distinct fields of embodiment, nested domains of experience. Every human activity is assigned a spatial location within this wheel. Planetary energy entering the chart funnels directly into these specific slices. A planet passing through a specific house takes a theoretical archetype and translates it into a tangible event or psychological state in a person's life. Without this architecture, the system remains a collection of ideas. The houses provide the structure that maps these concepts into the world. To map this out, we start with a horizon line cutting directly across the center of the wheel. This dividing line establishes the primary polarity of the chart, the private, internal self versus the public, external environment. The lower hemisphere, sitting entirely below that line, represents the hidden, personal foundation of the individual. The cycle begins at the far left with the first house, the initial spark of identity. The path descends to the bottom of the wheel, the fourth house of psychological roots and ancestral safety, before moving up to the sixth house, where the individual manages the routines required to physically sustain themselves. This entire progression, from the development of identity to the maintenance of the body, occurs without ever interacting with society at large. The architecture of the wheel suggests that this outward growth in the later houses is built upon these 6 private domains. Once that internal foundation is established, the path crosses the horizon line into the upper hemisphere, moving from the private self into the public world. Immediately across the threshold, at the seventh house, the individual must negotiate their identity within one-on-one partnerships. The trajectory moves through shared resources and broad philosophies until reaching the highest point in the chart. The 10th house represents the peak of social integration, mapping worldly authority and public legacy. From there, the ego moves into the 11th house, the realm of collective networks and shared societal goals. In the 12th house, the cycle of the individual ego concludes, returning the self back to the unseen universal subconscious. This geometric structure shows how our public legacy and collective engagements are anchored in direct relation to our inner psychological state. Our external reality is presented here as a structural extension of the internal foundation established below the horizon. This architecture remains dormant until it is activated by ongoing planetary movement. As a planet passes over a specific house, it acts as an activation timer. This transit brings focused momentum to one exact domain of life at a time. We can see how these transits interact. A trine forms harmonic geometry, creating pathways that transfer energy between different fields of experience. Conversely, a sharp 90-degree angle between 2 transiting planets, called a square, pinpoints the location of friction, often locking a private house and a public house in a tug-of-war. These geometric relationships transform planetary movements into a localized architecture of tension and harmony. This geometric mapping system provides a language for objective self-observation during daily struggles. Within this framework, astrology serves as a map for understanding internal shifts rather than a tool for making fatalistic predictions. Tension in a relationship or career becomes a localized weather pattern moving through a specific room in the chart, a temporary shift to be observed. This perspective allows an individual to step back and maintain their equilibrium during chaotic periods. By treating houses as nested life fields, astrology provides a geometric blueprint for mapping and understanding the human experience.